Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever it may be for you. Seems to be my intro for the day. And I would like to take a minute to discuss indulging demons, which is something we don't really talk about. You know, we watch these movies and people want to watch horror movies and learn about these things. But then they don't understand, like what is indulging a demon? And how are we indulging these thought constructs that take on a life of their own and cause us troubles? Let's think about that. Please excuse me while I get up and get a book to read and look at with you, as well as I wake up crying a lot. Sometimes in my sleep, just sometimes it's a trauma thing that's happened after the experience with my kid. And I wake up crying. It's really bizarre. So we look at these demons and they're attached to things, but so are angels. So we look at it like, are we entertaining an angel or are we entertaining a demon for basic constructs? Now, the whole construct of the sun and the moon has been coming to me of late, especially with Marcos, because we're the opposite. Like, I look like I'm the darkness, but I'm the sun. And he looks like he's the sun, but he's the darkness. He has entertained these demons for a long time. Entertaining demons. I just entertained the demon of gluttony for the past month that I've been here. I was doing without, so I overindulged in one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is food. I had lost a lot of weight. I've put on about 5 pounds now. I didn't need to, but it was just nice to know I had that, I didn't have the food I wanted on the street. I didn't have a bed to sleep in, so I'm laying here a lot. I was walking around carrying my stuff. I had a storage unit, but I was just carrying my backpack and things for a long time, it seems like, but not as long as a lot of other people in the streets. And so as we start talking the orders of demons, for everything there is positive, there is something negative, okay? And unfortunately, this is not bright enough for me to read for you. So I'm trying to see if I can find the light on this, because it seems like we should have a light. What do you know? This does not have a light. Now here's an interesting thing with me coughing. We have some people with interesting gifts. They don't want you to talk. They kind of, choke you up. Of the annoyance of evil spirits and the preservation we have by good spirits. And drive away evil spirits from us. So we should think about, it is the common opinion of divines that all evil spirits are of that nature, that they had God as well as men. They hate God as well as men. Therefore, divine providence has set over as more pure spirits, with whom he hath entrusted us, as with shepherds and governors, that they should daily help us and drive away evil spirits from us, and curb and restrain them, that they should not hurt us as much as they would, as is read in the Tobiah, that Raphael did apprehend the demon called Asmodeus, and bound him in the wilderness of the upper Egypt. Of these Hesiod saith, there are 30,000 of Jupiter's immortal spirits living on earth, which we are the keepers of mortal men, who that they might observe justice and merciful deeds, have clothed themselves with air, go everywhere on earth. For there is no prince nor potentate could be safe, nor any woman continue uncorrupted. No man in this valley of ignorance could come to the end appointed to him by God. If good spirits did not secure us, or if evil spirits should be permitted to satisfy the wills of men, or if evil spirits should be permitted to satisfy the wills of men. As therefore amongst the good spirits there is a proper keeper or protector deputed to everyone, cooperating the spirit of the man to good. So of evil spirits there is sent forth an enemy ruling over the flesh and desire thereof, and the good spirits fights for us as a preserver against the enemy and flesh. Okay. So in ways it makes it sound like our flesh is bad and we have to fight against it. That's the unfortunate way they present things that I don't agree with. Okay, I indulge the demon of gluttony, and it's very subtle. But here's one that we don't hear and talk about, that I want to give a shout out to: sorrow and suffering. Sorrow, suffering, sadness. SSS. Sorrow, suffering, and sadness. It is the demons that have been fueled in my life, which have brought about great, bountiful things for people like Dina Medill, Travis Gray, Marco Stryer. Now, how did this work? Well, I've been looking at my life and I've been like, well, look, I was nice enough not to set a boundary. And I let Tony Fish have the house, have everything, didn't get any alimony from him. He didn't pay me any payments. I just divorced him, walked away, let him keep everything. I didn't set a boundary and acquire what was rightly mine. What is your worth? And now it's an out of control train wreck. The same thing with my brother and my mother. I let my mother be on my checking account. They got into my money, spent what little bit I had from my inheritance, got a house. I never had rights over it. And my family all complained, oh, well, your family gave you a house to live in. They took money out of my account. I worked for my family and took care of LG. I took a lot of pain and suffering from the community because of the scarlet letter my brother has. And so I didn't get a home then. And so what did that turn out? I gave kindness to my brother, Travis. I gave him kindness and mercy because my father demanded it. Don't go public and prosecute him for attempted murder, because the whole reason this happened is you're upset about him not wanting to take care of his son. If you do that, he will have no money to take care of his son, right? I'm getting nervous. I'm getting upset. So then if he didn't have any money to take care of his son, then I would be the bad guy again too. So what did I turn around and do? I didn't prosecute him. I didn't set boundaries. Now he's an out-of-control monster. Braden got to go to a school, $400 a month, got a place to live, got a roof over his head, never had to live with bed bugs. So for every boundary I did not set to mark the value of my life, I didn't chase after Marcos and say, what did you do with those demons? I need the Vatican to help me too. Why is it the Vatican got to help Marcos, but then I don't matter? Well, it's 20 years ago now. It really doesn't matter. Okay? And back then it was just, oh my God, she got pregnant. Well, God wanted Marcos and I to get pregnant. Everything got violated. My birth control didn't work. The condom broke. I went out and got drunk because it was sad. One night a month I got drunk. And I got sad. I couldn't even go out one night a month like a reverse Cinderella without something happening. I have lived my whole life not indulging any of these demons to get me what, a lot of people want, prosperity. But I have been put in the wheel of sadness, suffering, and sorrow. Sadness, suffering, and sorrow. Okay? Sadness, sorrow, and suffering, they're three different things. Okay, you can be sad because you broke your car, but being sorrowful, like, oh, I'm so sorrowful. I'm so sorrowful right now that I did not establish those boundaries. If I would have went into the court and said, yes, I'm going to divorce Tony, I want the house, I would have came out of the divorce, him and Mandy would have left the house, I would have had the dog, I would have had the whole place, could have got rid of all the drugs, could have let them go live somewhere else. I could have went to college with my house and getting payments. Didn't do it. Could have chased after Marcos and not divorced him. And even if I got pregnant, could have been like, we're not divorced. I need help. The Vatican's helping you. Help me too. Didn't do it. Could have forced my dad and not got rid of those pictures and said, I got these pictures and I'm not burning them and getting rid of them. Now you do what you need to do now, and force him to do it, not wait 6 weeks until my family and everybody realized something's going to be done. And so they did something. And my father ended up dying. And then 9 months and 13 days exactly. 9 months and 13 days exactly. 9 and 13. 31 is 13 backwards. 3/31 is Marcos's birthday. My grandma, Marie Gray, died 9 months and 13 days exactly after my father on 3/12, which I do believe they planned. Now this is where I get a little conspiracy theory, but even my cousin Cindy's like, don't you remember the herbs in the yard? Grandma and them could have made people die without you ever knowing it. I'm like, holy what? Whatever, man. It is what it is. So don't indulge the demons. Sorrow, sadness, and suffering is what we're going to also talk about, because that was removed. We've not talked about that. And that is how they have been fueling all of this occult work, is through Jerry Springer, sadness, suffering, and sorrow. Okay? I have lived a life of sadness, suffering, and sorrow. Rules of pain, baby. I have sacrificed myself for my family, for my ex-husbands, for my ex-former friends. My child has watched me sacrifice her as well, because I took away from her and I to give to other people. And wherever my child is, they know what I'm saying is true. And they watched me, and they know what things I've done for people. So do not fuel sadness, suffering, and sorrow. That's one of the tricks that Hitler has comprised. And we have a whole lot of you guys. And we have all these people up here, the haves and the have-nots. And the haves are up here laughing and fueling on your sadness, suffering, and sorrow. Why are we living in sadness, suffering, and sorrow? Even in a rich house, why are you sad, suffering, and sorrow? Because you're not satisfied within yourself. Why is Marcos lying and trying to hurt me worse than I'm already hurting? A real professional psychologist would want to scoop in and improve the quality of life of someone. A real former priest would be like, oh my gosh, you showed me child porn. Oh my gosh, your brother did what to you? Oh my gosh, we're going to discuss 44 years of your sadness, suffering, and sorrow. 44 years of sadness, suffering, and sorrow. And how I survived with Jesus Christ and a little bit of medicinal, holistic medicine. And a lot of people, when they get saddening, suffering, and sorrow, they indulge the bottle. And then worse things happen. So please, love yourself and love others. Don't indulge the demons. Have a blissful day.